Welcome to Live Vedanta, a podcast on simple living and high thinking. We're almost to the end of the season. And as a reminder, you can always find the link to the first episode of the season and this specific series in the show notes. And you can always also find the link to the previous episode in the show notes. We're excited for what will be coming up the rest of the summer, but also in the fall, so do stay tuned. But today, the more we focus on something, the more strongly we feel it. If we know this to be the case, then why do we focus on what's constantly changing and hope to feel peace that never changes? Is there anything we can actually hold on to that doesn't change? Let's hear from Vivekji and how we can tune into the changeless so we can go from busy to being.
Hari Om, and greetings from Niagara Falls. Our community's spiritual year began on September 12th, 2021. Our community's spiritual year will be completed on May 19th, 2022. This is approximately 8 months and 1 week. We are 168 hours away from completing our year. I'm not counting down the hours. Over this period, I have taught 36 hours of monthly workshops. I have taught 96 hours of weekly courses. And I have taught 70 hours of daily mornings. I'm not really sure what to call meaningful mornings, so I'm just going to call it mornings. That's over 200 hours of teaching Advaita Vedanta over this period of time. All of this is only possible because of a community. All of this is only possible because of your smiling faces, your inquiring faces, your unspoken feelings, your written feelings. Bhagavan Krishna has just shared with all of us, Mama Maya Duratyaya. To free oneself of my Maya is extremely difficult. There is nothing that is more difficult. Yet, in a community, this feels possible. In a community, this is possible. The way our course is flowing, we are all walking on a pata. Walking on a pata means walking away from Maya and towards Bhagavan. And so another way to describe our community, to describe you, is you are a yatri. And we are on a yatra. And I know you wish this yatra was to Sri Lanka or Iceland and so on. But it's not context-based. It's content-based. It's content-based. Reviewing, Headspace 91, Abhaya. In English, fearlessness. We only fear that which is different. You fear yourself the least because there's no sense of difference between you and you. If we reflect carefully, every being who's not free, who's not reached moksha, has three fundamental fears. And most of you know what these fears are. I'm speaking it out again. It is fear of death, fear of the unknown, and fear of sorrow. You can describe many contexts, like my parents passing away or public speaking, but it will all be filtered into these three. The fact that we fear this shows experientially that we are different from death, unknown, and sorrow. And we're going to be reaching those words, those headspaces today, magically. The opposite of death, existence, or sat. The opposite of the unknown, awareness, or chit. The opposite of sorrow, joy, or ananda. Our fears are teaching us who we are, that we are sat, chit, ananda, existence, awareness, joy. And the fact we all have the same fears shows that we're all the same finally. That oneness is a fact. Headspace 92, Sakshi. In English, observer. I've shared many times in meaningful mornings this week. Being stuck in our own heads, psychoanalyzing, overthinking, is giving reality to our thoughts when our thoughts are just thoughts. Your hair follicles are just hair follicles. Your skin cells are just skin cells. Your thoughts are just thoughts. Your desires are just desires. Watch them come. Watch them go. And this really trains us for a word that describes infinity, udasina. That is an awesome word in Sanskrit. In Hindi, it's misinterpreted. People comment that that person's really udas, which means that they're miserable. Udasina means ut, above. Asina, sit. Sit above. Sit above your hair, your skin, your thoughts, your desires. That's being a sakshi. Headspace 93, Sharanagati. Sharanagati in English, surrender. This is made up of two words. Sharana, which means solace, refuge. And agati means to come to feel. So sharanagati, to feel solace. Now that's only possible if you are with someone who exudes solitude. You cannot feel sharanagati with someone who's highly stressed. It will be the opposite. And earlier when the question was being asked, I heard it being pronounced not as sharana, but charana. Sharana sounds like charana, correct? And charana means feet. The feet of our trust triangle. Our Sadguru, our Shastra. What does it mean to be at the feet of our Shastra? It means to be respectful, to be open, and to Bhagavan. So if you remember Charana and the evolution of that, Sharanagati. Ready to continue? 4 more headspaces. It's called bittersweet, correct? It's bitter because we're going to miss each other, or I'm going to miss you. But sweet because there's completion. Headspace 94. Om. Headspace 94's Om. In the Seeker's Word Book, which is a reflective workbook, which is a practical word book, the definition is support. Support. If you approach an Orthodox priest about what Om is, they're not going to define it as support. Okay, so please understand the vision of this course. It is to practice. Om is a sound. We chant Om. It's a sound, but the purpose of this sound is silence. To use Om, to not use Om. Why do we need a Sadguru? To need a Sadguru, to not need a Sadguru. Yes? If a Sadguru keeps making you need her or him, that's not your Sadguru then. That's a cult, okay? The trust triangle has to make you trust yourself. Now, let me take this to a very high perspective. How many of you believe, by show of hands, in infinity? You believe in infinity. Okay, a lot of hands. Some of you, everyone else's hand is up. I may as well put my hand up too. Let's vote on this together. Vote on this together. You know, if you believe in infinity, that means you don't believe in the individuality. So what if I reframe the question? How many of you don't believe that you exist? Hey, what happened to your hands now? See the inconsistency with which we approach these teachings? Anyways, infinity is, and there's nothing but infinity. But our experiences don't affirm that. That's why we don't have our hand up for the second part. So it's as if infinity expresses compassion to become Om. Infinity is silence. Infinity has nothing to hold on to.